Hey everyone, it's Keely here. I hope you're all well. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've decided to start a little mini series where I use up old man scrap kits. I've mentioned before that I subscribe to Mind the Scrap Kits. I get a new kit every month. But what I tend to do is when my new kit arrives, my old kit gets put away, never to be seen again. So I've decided that by doing this little series, hopefully, it will help me use up those old kits, clear some space in my stash, and make a bunch of layouts. I don't know if anyone else is the same as me, but I really do tend to keep the tiniest of scraps. It's always one of them things where you think, oh well, you'll never know, you might use it again, but it doesn't tend to get used again. It gets, like I said, put in a box or whatever, and you never use it again. So yeah, hopefully this may inspire you to do the same. Dig out those old kits and try and make some layouts with them. I do have quite a few layouts in mind. I think I've planned about 4 or 5. So we'll see how I get on with those. I've been subscribing to Mind the Scrap since June 2017. The June and the July kit I did use nearly, as much of the kit as possible. I don't think there's any pattern paper left within those kits, just a couple of embellishments. So I've decided to start with September 2017 kit. I was drawn to this one first just because it had Glitter Girl in it. Everyone loved the Glitter Girl range. Within the paper scraps, which there isn't many of, there were these half circles that I'd already cut out for a previous project and never used. I have set myself some rules whilst doing this. I am allowed to dig into my scrap paper bin, which is where I found the vellum, which I've used on the page. I am allowed to dig into other kit stash, but I've got to try my best to use up as much as I can from the kit that I am using. So like I said, I've picked out these half circles. I've used them to cut out some half circles within the vellum, which I'd got out my scrap paper bin. I've attached those onto the page. I didn't want to use glue or tape or anything behind the vellum because you can see through. So I'd put a bit of blue tack behind the vellum, which I'd never done before. This is a first for me. Just to position the vellum so that I could do some hand stitching through. What I like about my hand stitching on this page, I didn't use a ruler or anything like that, so it isn't perfectly straight. Some of it's a little bit wonky, but I think that adds to the whole handmade look about the page. I've now picked a photo. This photo is of my little girl Darcy when she was about 4 or 5 months old. She was a very happy, smiley baby. Her brother was completely different. He was quite a grumpy baby. But she was a lovely, happy, smiley baby. She is now, a grumpy toddler. So it is really nice looking back to when she was, happy and smiley and, not naughty and up to no good like she is now. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, she's going to be 3. So the three-nager stage is starting. She's getting quite cheeky now. So what I've done, I got some white cardstock from my scrap paper bin just to create a border around the photo. I've then layered some of the florally paper behind from the kit. I think the papers on this layout that I'm using at the moment are both from Turn the Page collection. I'm now picking embellishments. I did use the, I think they were from Carousel, and I got a little heart off of there. It doesn't stay where it is on the page at the moment. I do move that around. The thickers that we did get in the kit, I've not many of at all, and there's nothing really there to be able to make a word. I've run out of all the E's. We never seem to get enough of the letter E, and it's the first letter we use up. So what I did find though is these little alpha stickers in the Turn the Page sticker book. So I decided to use those for my title, and my title's going to be Cutie. Because she was a little cutie. She was so chunky and tiny and smiley. I'm now having a look through the rest of the sticker book, and I do pick out this tab here which says happy, which I think is quite fitting. I do pull out these little sticker buttons, but they don't actually make it on the final layout. I'm just having a look now to see if there's anything else that I want to use. What do I pull out next? I'm just having a look now what else there is. We did get the Glitter Girl enamel dots. We got the sequin pack. These butterflies I pulled out. I found them in my actual scrap paper bin. Again, like I said, I think I may have cut them out for a previous layout and not used them. I can't remember. But I think they fit in really well with this layout, so I thought I'd use them on there. It's still using up scraps, so I'm quite pleased about that. I'm now having a look into some of the sequins which I've put in these pots myself. They didn't come in these pots, they came in little bags, and I'm going to use these little flowery sequins which were from Turn the Page as well, I think. So I do scatter a couple of those around the page. Again, you know, I'm fiddling around with them. I try and make them look like they just landed there, and like I said before, I do mess about far too much with them. I think I'm taking those buttons off now. Just having a look, I think, see if I want to put them somewhere else, or if I don't want them on the page at all. I think, well, I really do hope that by doing this little series that I can really, you know, use up every last bit of this kit if possible. I know there will be some little embellishments and things left, but I can't bear to part with, you know, those little bits of pattern paper. I bet I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's lots of you out there that are the same. You keep the tiny little bit of paper because you never know when you might use it. So yeah, so my plan really with the kit is to use it up till you know, it's basically impossible to make another layout with it. So now I think I'm just starting to stick everything down. I'm just straightening up those little alpha stickers because I did just, you know, plonk them onto the page. Just checking that I don't want to put the title somewhere else, but I think it does kind of fit perfectly there. So yeah, so I'm just sticking those down, you know, a lot straighter than they was. Kind of trying to follow the line of my stitching. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. In fact, I'm quite happy with how this layout turns out. It's quite a simple one, but I think it does look really pretty, and it's perfect for the photo of my little girl. You know, and if I hadn't have dug out this old kit, then you know, I probably wouldn't have made this layout. So I think it's always a nice feeling when you use up some scraps and things to make a layout rather than just diving straight into new papers, new kits and things. So yeah, so it definitely felt like a little achievement using up some of the scraps to actually make a layout. I'm now sticking down those sequins. I think I mentioned before that I do have this little, it's like a roll of tiny sticky dots, and they do stick the sequins down really well. And like I said last time, that I don't tend to have any problems with them popping off the page. So I do need to find out what the brand is of that roll, because I do want to try and buy some more of that, because it is really handy to have. I'm just having a look now. I think it is, I'm starting now to come to the end. What I do add to the page is on the butterflies. Right now they kind of just look like they're floating. I do like to add a little trail coming from my butterflies. To me it just makes it look a little more finished. So yeah, so I'm just penciling in now a little swirly line coming from my butterflies, and then I'll use that as a guide to poke my holes, and I do my hand stitching off camera. So yeah, so I'm going to come up now with the close-up of the layout. I hope this inspires you to dig out your old kits and use up some of those scraps.